Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm honored and excited to have you connecting in with us, heart to heart, as we lean into a powerful and candid conversation. We're going to be talking about overcoming challenges, really embracing change, and how do we keep shining when those challenges hit? Because challenges are a part of life. We're going to have those unexpected things. We're going to have things that just challenge and stretch us. And either we are coming out of one of those times, we're in them, or we will be going into one. So I think it's so important that we're able to just know that it's okay to have these challenges, that it's normal, that it's part of life. But now that we know that, we can start to build an emergency kit for challenges and really build that. So when those times happen, it doesn't throw us for as much of a loop. We're able to, this is one of those moments where I stop and I open up my emergency kit, and it can help you through those challenges. I really love to look at challenges in April in particular for a lot of different reasons. One is April showers bring May flowers, so looking for that silver lining so that we can be encouraged, we can keep going, having tools to support us in practical and profound ways. It's also my birthday month, and so I do a lot of reflecting back and looking ahead and celebrating during this month. So I think it's great to be looking at where we're at, how we want to move forward, and having a plan of attack, so to speak, for challenges as they come. For me, in my toolkit, I remember to stop, pause, and breathe. And when I need that most is when I feel like I can least afford the moment in time to do it. But when I remember to stop, pause, take a breath, 30 seconds, a minute, I'm able to still make choices and choose who I want to be and how I want to be, even in the midst of a storm and a challenge. We had one of our big events this week, and this is what we were talking about. So over the weekend, we had our Ready to Thrive. We used to call it Get Ready to Thrive, and I decided, no, we're ready to thrive. We're not getting ready anymore. We are ready to thrive. And we talk a lot about and bring experts in on this very subject. How do we keep moving forward in those storms in life? What do we have in our emergency kit? What seeds are we planting? How are we setting ourselves up for success when those storms come, so we can keep moving forward in those areas that matter most? We have two amazing experts that are joining us today, and when I was reviewing their questions and the areas that they were willing to pull back the curtain and share in, I was very touched. They're both willing to share candidly about some of their own personal challenges and how they overcame them. And with that, we're able to grow and learn and add some beautiful techniques and tools to our own toolkit to support us on the journey. I want to encourage all of you to get the most out of our time together today, because it's not an accident that you tuned in. That means there is something here for you. And I want you to be able to receive everything that is being made available to you. But to do that, you need to make a decision to be fully present. Claim this time for you to be poured into, to receive all that is here to encourage, support, empower, and inspire you on your journey. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe. It's an inwardly tuning in, becoming present, really opening those ears to hear and your heart to receive. But do keep your eyes open on the road and both hands on the wheel. Those of you who are not driving are able to sit back in your chair. I invite you to do that. Put both feet on the floor, feel it supporting you. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, bringing you all in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth like through a straw. This time, close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Another deep breath in. See how big you can make your belly. And out through your mouth like through a straw. Beautiful, and keep breathing. This type of breathing helps bring you present, lowers your cortisol and stress levels, oxygenates your whole body, which helps us be more alert, aware, present, and make choices with clarity. So take another breath. And in this space, as we're thinking about wanting to move through challenges, overcome them, really to that place of thriving, no matter what may come our way, what is it that you need today? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, inspire you? Give me profound or practical things that you need. And just see. Feel into that. Receive that information. Sometimes it comes in a picture or a phrase, a scent, a memory, a sound. We can use all of our senses. But what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Sometimes that can alter the information a little bit because we have choice. So what is it that you need? I'm going to invite you to be unattached to how it comes, but what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Breathe that information in. Feel us holding you and your need in our hearts, in our spirit. As we breathe out, lifting you up, supporting you to receive all that you need today. Come back into the room, eyes open, fully present, and I invite you to write down what it is that was laid upon your heart. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? I want you to keep it top of mind, leaning in with anticipation and expectation and excitement of how this need will be met. And perhaps in our time together, there will be a movement, a shift, and support in that need. So be on the lookout, listening, willing, and ready to receive all that is here to support you and to support you throughout your day. Be looking for exactly what it is you need and are willing to receive. Take one more breath together. And that writing it down will help you keep it top of mind because it is so easy to forget. It is so easy to get distracted and move on to the next thing. And we can miss the answer that may be right in front of us. So eyes open, ready to receive, hearts open, ready to receive. And I'm going to go around our virtual room here and just touch in with our amazing guests and have them share what was laid on their heart when we took a moment to just pause and listen for a moment. So Denise, did you have something laid on your heart?
I did, Rebecca. And number one, I want to say thank you because that was absolutely beautiful, as always, with you. So thank you for sharing that. The thing that came to me was allowance. I have such gifts. And sometimes I diminish those gifts by not allowing others to tell me the beauty of my gifts. I sometimes make jokes about it and kind of do a deflection process. And so it's about me allowing my love, my compassion, my beauty and expertise to just come through me, from me, and out to others.
Beautiful. I just want to breathe that into you. Beautiful as we lift up, allowing ourselves to see and celebrate our beautiful gifts, your beautiful gifts that make such a powerful difference in this world, in all the lives that you touch. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Kathy, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Well, it's really wonderful to be a part of this experience with you, Rebecca, and Denise. That was lovely. For me, it's about stepping into my power to be able to help other people and expand out more so that I don't limit the capabilities that I can offer to others, that I really allowing Denise, but allowing the expansion to take place so that I can be all I came here to be.
Oh, I love that. I celebrate that. Let's lift that up to stepping and absolutely, and all of us stepping into our power, really owning that and being willing to step into that expansion and sharing our gifts. I call this shining. So I want all of us to step into that place where we're sharing our gifts, we're celebrating them, we're allowing the power of them to expand out and touch other people's lives. And I'm excited to celebrate and breathe that in with you, Kathy. Absolutely. Beautiful. Absolutely. Listeners, what about you? What was laid on your heart? Perhaps there was an echo in some of what we shared. What is it that you need today that will encourage you, that will empower you and support you? And let us stand beside you, sending you support, celebration, lifting you up to that place of thriving and shining and sharing the amazing gifts that you have and bring to the world. As we get ready to go to our first commercial break, I want to encourage you to resist the urge to run off and cross things off your to-do list. Really stay present. Use these 2 minutes to reflect on what it is that you need and open to receiving, and perhaps even some ways that you can share a little bit more of yourself, becoming a blessing to others, but standing in your power, not from a place of depletion and pouring out, but a place of overflow and pouring into others as well. So take these 2 minutes, see what is being laid on your heart, and when we come back, we're looking forward to deepening the conversation and helping you build a powerful toolkit for challenges as they come. We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Voice America Women. Your passion starts here.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
For women, the pressure to achieve is stronger, the work hours longer, and the struggle for respect and authority more complex than ever. You want guidance on how to succeed, and you are not alone. You're invited to take your coffee break with Game Changers on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern for our special series, Game Changing Women. Powerful women leaders will help you make sense of it all, analyze how you can change the game, and share their playbooks. Game Changing Women, presented by SAP on the Business Channel. These days, everyone is looking for information on staying young, healthy, and fit. The Voice America Health and Wellness Network is here to help you on your quest to better health and a better you. We talk about everything from diet, fitness, and aging to substance abuse, personal growth, mental health, and much more. Learn from our experts who cover health and wellness from traditional and holistic perspectives. Tune in to the Voice America Health and Wellness Network. Healthy living starts here.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and giving yourself that gift of being present, pausing, breathing, and receiving 2 minutes at a time. Well, welcome back. As promised, we're going to dig into a deeper conversation here, really talking candidly and supportively around challenges, how to overcome them, how do we do that, what can we put in our toolkit, how do we embrace change if change is part of that, and truly shine powerfully in our life, showing up in the way that we are called to show up and share the gifts that we have with others. How do we do all of that? Oh, our first guest that you heard a little bit from her at a heart level is Denise Hansard. She has a master's in counseling. She's a certified life coach, has launched multiple businesses, an author, a speaker, and she is absolutely passionate about helping you generate six-figure income while building a life you love. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Denise Hansard to the show. Welcome!
Woohoo! Yay! I love that, Rebecca. I'm going to have to hire you for that.
You are welcome. I'm excited to have you joining us today. And I love to start our conversation with why. You know, we started at a heart level when we opened the show, and I like to kind of lead from that place of why. Why is this work of helping people in this way personally so important to you?
I can't help not do it. You know, it's that thing of what I call for people your purpose in life. We all have kind of one purpose, that which we dive into, knowing that there's nothing else that we can do in this world. And for me, it is that very thing of helping to empower mostly women, but people in general, but mostly women, to really design their life from their heart and not from their head so much. I want to be able to bring the two together, to marry them together, and to have you allow that flow of just being the person that you're to be. And that's why I do what I do, because I love teaching women how to do that in their lives.
Yeah, as I'm hearing you share that, it's putting a smile on my face, and there's this ease and kind of joy that I feel that it's okay to be who I am, and we can celebrate that. I think we're right. When we're operating from the head, we can push ourselves, we can critique ourselves, we can try so hard. Whereas if we can come from the heart, there's a little bit more of allowing and flow. And even the way you shared it, you could just feel that beautiful energy. So.
Yeah, definitely. When we're coming from the heart, and influencing our head, which is what we want to do, because we don't want to have the disconnect.
Correct.
You know?
Yes.
It's the natural flow. We're just being who we are. And life is easy.
I love it. I love it. But we are talking about challenges today, so not to be difficult. But I would love how we're talking about this ease and how we can have the heart kind of directing the head and getting the support that way. How does this support us, or how can we face challenges? And I know that you've had some big challenges in your life, and I wanted to know if you would mind sharing what was one of your biggest challenges and how did you overcome it?
You know, I've had several big challenges, and I'll just be the most vulnerable within this. I lost a loved one to suicide, and that was my biggest challenge, was feeling the loss, the rejection, the grief, totally losing myself. And it was one of those where, honestly, Rebecca, I looked at taking my own life. I was so disconnected and so in such pain, and yet my inner voice, which I do call my God voice, told me, said, what will this do to your family? You understand the pain you're going through. Do you want this to happen to your family? And that was my choice of not to do that. And it was through this process and evolution and seeking out how to heal my own self from the heart and from the head, because the critical voices reside in our head. This is our ego. And our ego is only there for one reason, and that is to keep us safe, because we've been conditioned through life to do things in a certain way, whether they feel right or not. We've been kept into a box of comfort, because this is what we know. And that was what I was struggling with, was turning off the voice inside of my head of the criticalness, the mean girl syndrome of saying I wasn't good enough. If he loved me enough, or if I were good enough, he wouldn't have taken his own life. You know, all of these things. And trying not to totally lose myself in becoming invisible to the rest of the world and the people who were trying to support me through this. And I stepped into it. I did seek help, but I did step into claiming my own worth, hearing my voices, and putting specific tools into place that helped me to reconnect to who I was in my heart. And that's what I do today for people, to help them understand no matter what happens to them, there's a way for them to shine, to become more.
Beautiful. Well, Denise, thank you for sharing so vulnerably with us, and I'm very sorry for your loss. And I also, there's part of me that celebrates that even in the midst of a tragedy like that, you were able to find things to celebrate and move forward in, that you were able to tap into tools to help you stand in your worth, that you chose to stay here and to help others. So I celebrate that.
Thank you. And it's through our choices, Rebecca, that gets us to where we want to go. And that's the biggest thing. You said it at the beginning. It's about making a decision, which is basically making a choice.
Exactly.
And yeah. I mean, there's a quote that I have, because making a choice to do something different is about change. And embracing that change is really feeling that need, honoring it, and moving into it. And there's a quote I love. It says, change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. It's by Robin Sharma. And it's like, yeah, change is scary. It's hard. I don't want to do it. And, oh, my God, look at everything I got to change up. It's so messy. And, wow, look at what I've created, that gorgeousness at the end of it all. Yeah. That's what excites me.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm just thinking, listeners, as you are looking at your toolkit and what you have to help you through challenges, remembering, and I heard a couple of things that you shared, Denise. I heard this claiming your worth. I heard that very strongly, claiming your worth and choosing, making choices to move forward in a powerful way. and embrace change in that as well. So I think there's a really valuable tools that we can start adding to our respective toolkits. And I would love to ask you if there's an additional tip, something that you would like to share with our listeners today, a nugget that can help us overcome challenges and perhaps be added to our toolkit.
Yes, and I love to make things simple, Rebecca. And the simpler
I'm
it is,
glad.
the better you're going to remember.
Exactly. Yes.
I have a specific tool I give my clients. It's called the PB&J moment. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's your pause. It's hitting that pause button in life to stop the spinning, to stop the overwhelm. And then it's about breathing. Because when we get into overwhelm, we begin to shut down our breathing. It becomes very shallow, and we become very limited without oxygen. So it's pausing, it's breathing. And then the last thing is you got to move your body and jam it up and get out of the space that you're in right now to create that change. So take a PB&J.
I love that. So let's add that to our toolkit. Beautiful. Thank you. And I know you've also created an amazing gift that you were wanting to share with our listeners today, and would love for you to describe that to them.
Certainly. This is called Change, the simple 5-step process, where the CHANGE all stands for something. Because what I know is, as human beings, we're designed to change, to grow, to expand. This is what we are made to do. I mean, we exercise to get stronger, to expand our bodies, to get faster, to more functioning. We take our minds and take courses so that we can gain wisdom and knowledge. We meditate to have more consciousness. And then we open our hearts to grow in our capacity to love. And this simple process of change, with each one of these letters standing for something and a tool of which to put through it, is a simple process that helps you to embrace change with it. It's an ebook. It's very easy to do, and it has exercises in it to help you really absorb what it's all about and to implement it into your life.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I love that there's an ease to it, because when we're challenged or feeling overwhelmed or faced with change, we don't need one more hard thing to face.
Totally.
So
yes.
To have
you know me,
tool.
If I can't make it fun, you might as well forget it.
And I love and appreciate that about you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you for making that ebook available. That's very generous of you to our listeners. And listeners, I'm going to let you know how to access her beautiful ebook, but I'm going to let you know at the end of the show, because we don't want you distracted by anything. So at the end of the show, I will let you know how to access her beautiful gift. What I would love for you to do is, we move into this next commercial break, that you give yourself the gift of these 2 minutes to really process, stop, pause, breathe, and maybe jam as well. These 2 minutes to receive all that will serve you. Give yourself the opportunity to integrate what is being shared as you're breathing, pausing, and receiving deeply all that will support you, encourage you, and empower you as you are moving forward and thriving in your life. We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
This is the Voice America Women's Channel, where your success is limitless.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Relationship issues? Anxious? Parenting challenges? No more. Learn to live your best life. Tune into Straight Talk with top therapist, relationship, and anxiety expert Sandra Reish. Learn to transform your challenges into effective solutions. Whether it's relationships, parenting, anxiety, or other traps, Sandra will show you how you can live the life of your dreams. Listen live every Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog, Press Pass? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective. Plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at vapresspass.com. That's vapresspass.com. VA Press Pass by Voice America. All access, all the time.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com and make the most of an incredible life transformation. Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes for pausing, a breathe, PG&J. So pausing and breathing and perhaps a jam as you moved that energy around a bit and really added some of those amazing tools to your toolkit to take forward as you are moving forward, overcoming challenges, embracing change, and shining, thriving in your life. But we're not done. We have more. We want to fill that toolkit to overflowing, really support you on your journey. So I'd love to introduce our next guest expert to you. You heard a little bit of her heart in our opening segment, but let me share a little bit more formally about her. Kathy Perry is an author, a speaker, a media consultant, leader in the personal growth industry, and a successful business coach. She is passionate about helping entrepreneurs save time and money, removing the overwhelm while helping them get the results they desire. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Kathy Perry to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, Rebecca.
You are very welcome. Excited to have you here and celebrate you being with us today. And I'd love to start our conversation with why. Why is this work of helping people in this way? Why is that personally so important to you?
Well, I have always had a passion for helping others and sharing my gifts with others. And, I'm very yin and yang. So I'm kind of an unusual bird. I have this technology side of my life, and I have this energy healing side of my life. So I intertwine them, and it's such a joy to be able to be of service in many ways.
I love that. What a rich mixture to have technology tied together with the heart and the spirit like that. That's just really, really beautiful. And I know that's not the case for all of us. Sometimes it feels like we're against each other. So I love that you're able within yourself to bring that together and help others. What a powerful gift.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you also have had many challenges in your life, and you had a very personal tragedy And I wanted to see if you're open to sharing a little bit about that with us and how you overcame it.
Sure. Well, I think many of us have had a loss in our lives that has shaped us. And for me, it was when my husband had a massive heart attack and died unexpectedly. We were not prepared, not expecting anything, thought he was fine and healthy. And then just in a moment, he was gone. And my life went into major turmoil. We were not in a good position financially. We were upside down financially. I had to go and file for bankruptcy. I lost everything and really had to recreate my life. And it was not an easy journey. But, the year before he passed, I had written my first book on how we create our life with our thoughts and emotions. And little did I know I was going to have to use my own book to help me through that process. And by remembering, listen, I know that if I don't take control of these thoughts and emotions, I'm going to go deep into that hole of depression even further. And you go through that journey of grief and depression and then shame of having to go through bankruptcy and have that be such a part of that experience. And I had to keep reminding myself, okay, you wrote a book about this. You need to read your own book. You have to get those thoughts and emotions on a different track. And we have to write our own story. We have to create that story that we want in our lives. Otherwise, we're going to fall down that rabbit hole, and I choose not to go there. And it was a powerful transformation for me. And I also immersed myself in energy healing tools to help heal my heart. But through that process, I just became more energized and more powerful to have tools to use to keep me on track.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. I'm just so sorry for your loss. And as you were sharing, I was thinking about not only facing a loss like that, but then all the other losses and challenges too that seem to pile one on top of the other. Bankruptcy, all of that. I mean, there's just so much to process and deal with. And I heard this choosing, and you write your own story, that you choose to do that. I could hear that conviction. I could hear it so powerfully and echo out from you as you shared that. And listeners, I want you to just take a moment and pause, breathe, and process what was spoken into your heart. Those were the things, as Kathy was sharing with us, that really stood out in my heart. And adding to the toolkit is a pen, or my favorite writing utensil, that I get to choose every moment to write my own story, even in the midst of overwhelm, of tragedy, of loss. Life has changed and you're in a different spot than you had ever planned on, that you can, at a moment's notice, pull that pen out and choose to write your own story. So I really appreciate you sharing that and some of the steps that you took to help you overcome. And I wanted to see if there was an additional tool or share that you wanted to, that was on your heart to share, that you touched on a little bit, some energy work and support you did, but anything else we could add to our toolkit, because I know you have written your own story, are in a powerful place now helping so many people.
I think the one thing I would love everyone to know is we need to stay in the question so that we're open to the possibilities of what the universe can provide for us. And so many times we will already come to a conclusion and we'll think that's the only answer, and it isn't. And so if we can stay in the question and ask, what else is possible? Or who does this belong to? or, any type of question that in that moment of time where we don't make up our mind as to the outcome, but we allow a greater possibility to be the outcome.
Beautiful. So not choosing the answer, but being open with the question. Beautiful, beautiful share. And I also wanted to tap into another side of you, because I know that you had written that book and then you were able to tap into it so timely and powerfully for your own journey. But you also were a co-author with Deepak Chopra, Jack Canfield, Dr. Dennis Waitley in Stepping Stones to Success. And would love to see if you'd like to just share a little bit about that. And because to me, it sounds like those stepping stones could be powerful tools in our toolkit.
It really was a great opportunity for me. And it happened where I was, they were doing a nationwide search for the authors that they were going to invite to be a part of that book. And it had just come off of that year-long time of doing energy work after my husband passed, and I just was so blessed and honored to have that opportunity to be a part of this project. And it allowed me to share some of those tools that I have created to help my own in my own journey. So my topic is social media and self-empowerment tools for success. And so it was a very powerful experience to be a part of that project. Mm-hmm. And it opened a lot of doors for me.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. And that coming together with so many powerful authors across the country to share those stepping stones. What a beautiful project to be part of. Congratulations. And I love that you were able to, again, bring that energy and heart to technology and to media for people, because at the end of the day, it's a heart-to-heart connection, and technology is a powerful way we can do that, and we can reach others in media. And I also know you have an amazing gift that you have prepared for us and for our listeners today, and would love for you to share a little bit about that, and then I'll let everyone know how to access these goodies, these gifts.
Well, my gift is a guided meditation about creating your own sacred space to overcome any limiting beliefs and empowering you with unlimited possibilities. Mm-hmm. It was recorded at a live event. I call it the Energy Vortex Guided Meditation because it assists you in living a more energized and positive and vibrant life. And this is not a guided meditation that you go to sleep to. This is one that will energize you and empower you. It's a high vibration one.
So it's more starting the day or in the afternoon, not an evening one, it sounds like.
That's right. Yeah, don't go to sleep with this one because you'll be wide awake.
I love that, but what a powerful gift to give us that boost in energy, especially in challenging times and unlimited possibilities. What a beautiful tool to be able to include in our toolkit. So thank you for making that available. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So listeners, I promised to let you know how to access these gifts, so I want to deliver on that. If you go to Radio Gifts, and that's with an S, it's plural, .net, Radio Gifts with an S.net, you'll be able to access all of these amazing gifts. It's a net full of multiple gifts just for you. Our guests are so generous to pour into you and make these additional tools available to you. I really want to encourage you to lean in and say yes, be willing to receive these amazing gifts and tools, add them to your toolkit. When you go to radiogifts.net, you'll type in your name and email address so we can stay in touch. That will open up the library. You'll want to scroll to today's date, which is April 24th, and you'll see Denise's beautiful picture and her ebook, Kathy's beautiful picture, and her guided meditation, and you can say yes to both of those beautiful gifts and as many of the gifts in the library as will serve you. You just put in your name and email address for each one you want, and they will make sure that you receive that amazing gift. So I encourage you to do that. Use these next 2 minutes to say yes, feel in, pause, breathe, integrate, and make sure to come back for our final segment. We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
We're making it easier to listen to the Voice America Talk Radio Network wherever you go. In addition to listening live, you can check out information about your favorite talk show hosts, discover new talk show personalities, add shows to your list of favorites, and listen to all of our show archives on demand, all from your iOS, Amazon Kindle, or Android device. Download it from the Apple App Store, Amazon, or Google Play, and get ready to tune in. The Voice America mobile app, powered by Aircast.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you are giving yourself the gift of pausing, breathing deeply, and integrating all that is being spoken into your heart and your spirit. Those 2 gifts that were thoughtfully and generously prepared just for you. I encourage you to add them to your toolkit that we've been building throughout the month, throughout today together, to support you on your journey. And behind the scenes, I was talking with our guests, and they each had a quote on their heart that they wanted to share with you as you go back out into the world. These are things that were just really laid deeply on their heart that they wanted to share with you. And before we do that, I also want to make sure, just in case you missed that link and you're wanting those gifts, I want to make sure you know how to find them. If you're on our host page, there's actually a link you can click that will take you right there for the radio gifts, or you can type in radiogifts.net, and that will take you right to that beautiful library. The quote that's on my heart is that life is not a solo journey. I don't know who started the rumor that it was, but I want to invite you to allow people to walk beside you. I celebrate that you're letting us be a part of your life today and pour into you. And I want to encourage you to bring people alongside you, to walk beside them as well as we move forward in this beautiful life, this beautiful journey that we get to make so many powerful choices in. And with that, Kathy, I know that you had a beautiful quote I wanted to have you share with our listeners, just as a reminder and truth as they go back into the world.
Well, I want to remind everyone that life is about the journey and not about the destination.
Beautiful. So we don't want to miss it. Getting so focused on the end, on that result, but really enjoying the rich journey. Beautiful. Thank you. Denise, what was on your heart to share?
Well, I want everybody to recognize that change is a gift. It may be scary, but I go back to the quote I shared at the beginning by Robin Sharma. Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. And the reason, Rebecca, I love that because we can begin to see it's a journey into a newness, taking that step.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And listeners, I want you to feel into all of these quotes, these messages that have been laid on our heart just for you, to encourage you, to support you, inspire you on your journey. I want to invite you to include some of these tips and ideas and wisdom in your tool bag, so that in your emergency kit, so when those challenges come, you can stop, pause, breathe, and I love that Denise has added a jam, move around, which is beautiful, that you can pick up your pen, you can write your own story. Your past does not dictate your future and where you're called to go. So I want to encourage you, whether you are in the midst of a challenge, you're just coming out of one, or you're looking ahead at one that is coming, that you are not alone, that we are with you, supporting you, that you are absolutely needed in this world. It is not an accident that you tuned in today. You were in fact made for such a time as this. So I want to encourage you to be willing to share the gift of who you are with another. Be willing to build this powerful toolkit to help support you on your journey, so no matter what may come, you are able to move forward. You are able to thrive and share those gifts out with the world, because you are absolutely needed. In fact, I believe you were made for such a time as this. So my heart's desire, as I reflect back on our time together today, is that you've had a moment to pause, breathe, integrate, and receive some tools, some ideas, some suggestions, perhaps a new way of approaching things to support you on your journey. Because wherever you go, whatever you do, I hope that you choose to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone. I so look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.